Hey guys, Paul's back for another part of this series. Now, as you can see here, I actually have a map started. You can see it's fairly generic. It's almost a cloth of dirt, just kind of placed over stuff. I even missed a bunch. Keeping in mind though that you're really small and you're down up in here. Now I have, like I said, this is a landscape actor here. This out here is another landscape actor. It's even lower resolution and scaled up, so there's not a lot of verts or anything like that. I don't think that this scene should run all that heavy. We got light propagation volume going on, a little bit of ambient cube map, things like that to take care of a little bit of where it gets too dark up in here. We pull that back just a little bit. You can see the light propagation volume having its effect here. If I turn that off, that goes away, and it's fairly fake looking to be honest. So this is just like an initial setup. I literally turned everything on and I haven't really tweaked. Whether or not I'm going to get a good look is still kind of up in the air, but I do have also a couple of points of interest. So 3 plates of cheese for now. I've got this here, which I'm going to do differently. So there's the points of interest, and like I said, I may do this differently because I may have the ants be able to pull this thing apart, which would be kind of cool. And if I were going to do it that way, I'd have to do some fair amount of trickery, to be honest with you, with the UVs. Almost world space, to be honest, because what I would like to do would be to cut it into equal segments, make them perfectly exactly the same, except for the top surface would have a world aligned texture of this pie here, so that it would retain the correct detail and it wouldn't be like obviously 8 slices that are duped around, and you would see the 8 seams everywhere going around the whole thing, right? So if I'm going to do that, it's going to have to be tricked out. I do have PB&J sandwiches that haven't brought in yet, and I'm going to make some grapes, and I'm actually kind of excited about making a grape, which is freaking weird, I know, but it's actually going to be fairly interesting, to be honest with you, to try to get that look, the subsurface and everything with a grape. And hopefully it comes out cool. I don't have any fruits or anything in here yet. I don't really plan on, I don't know if I'm going to allow the players to get up there or not. I probably will. But at some point, the height that you can get to will make everything fall apart. So you can obviously see that this is floating out there. So depending on how high I let the players go, I'm going to have to tune this. I may just fence it in. I may do another landscape, even lower res, because this landscape, while it is set to the lowest resolution, it is still not the lowest resolution that it can be. That is in fact settable in a, I can't remember everything you have to do here, but you can turn this way down when you start dealing with like the MIPS or something, or the streaming distance multipliers and things. It might be this here, the LOD stuff here. I believe the max LOD level is -1, so if you say like 2 or 4 or something, maybe that will, let's see, export LOD, maybe that 2. There's a way to affect this. Okay, that's making it better. Uh-oh, I might have broke it. Let me well, no, I'm okay. You can see here that the LODs are acting real crazy because how close I am, because of, you know, this whole thing here. So I'm just going to reset it for now, but there is a way to, and it's just, you kind of need to go and look at it in wireframe to see how much you're actually getting. I don't know if there's a way to determine how tessellated it is up close, but you can definitely tell it how far away this goes, and it'll stay really super low res. So you can do some cool stuff with that, and one of the things that I've actually done with it is I've taken the terrain, I've duplicated it, I've moved it up just a hair, and then I've turned it, and then I've used the volumetric noise and to create fog that rolls right definitely around and up the terrain, and it works really well. And the terrain is super low res because I have all this stuff turned. I'd have to go look up what the settings are, but you can do it. Just look around over here if you need to bring in a terrain that's super low res. See, in this case, I don't need any detail out here or anything. I'm never going to be able to get out here. This is just so that the ants can walk on it. To be honest with you, I still have those invisible boxes, the shape cubes. They're just set to invis. So you can't see it. You know, you don't even see the outline. It's the texture, and that's what's colliding. So this one, I could actually tell this one. I think. I don't know if there's a way for me to say. Yeah, like I don't care about any of this stuff, you know. But I don't collision preset. Yeah, I can just say, you know, no collision, and now it's not going to affect, you know, the nav or anything. And if I look at the nav, well, hang on, I'm not getting any out there. So where are my boxes that are out there? What are those even called? I see shape cubes. No. Invisible. Collision block all. Alright, well, let me change this material real quick. Infantry black. Okay. Are they too low or something? I never moved them. They were working before I put the terrain in. But I'm not getting nav out there. And these right here are nav mesh volumes that extend out, so I can spawn ants right off the edge of the stuff. But let me see, if I put the collision back on this. Okay, well, I don't know why that is, why these boxes underneath aren't colliding with the nav mesh while there's terrain there. If the terrain's turned off on collision, that might be a bug or something strange. I know I have a bit of a strange case here, a strange use case of it, but that's okay. I like doing that. Alright, so I'll just put this back to invis, and I'll just use the collision for the terrain. Fine, whatever. However, the foliage is not drawn on this terrain. It's actually drawn on these boxes. So the question is, can I turn the collision on these guys off then? Yeah, so those can just be holders for the grass. Now I've tuned the grass down like crazy as much as I can. I have 1.6 thousand of the very low res mesh. And then the big cluster, I only have 356. So if I pick this tool here, you can see the difference. Here's one, it's low res, it's only 3 blades. And then I've got one that's quite a few, but there's much less of those. So that's kind of how I tweaked it. The ones in the back here are scaled larger than the ones in the front. There is a spot, I haven't completed this yet. I have not completed this yet, but let me find it. It's here somewhere. Gets a little dark over here in the shadows, which is exactly what I want. Oh, here we go. So in this area right here, I started to bend the grass down to make like the blankets laying on the grass. Obviously nowhere near completed, but that's the theory of what I'm going to do. You can see I've done areas where I try to clear it out a little bit here, so that the ants, you know, will have a way. I don't know if I even line that up with where the ants are. It's not perfect, but these volumes here, I can't pick that with that tool, so we'll go to this one. These are, they cut straight across, so I kind of have like a tic-tac-toe thing. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that are extending, and then the main one that just goes right to the edge of the blanket itself. Now there's a few spots where the ants have issues, and I'm going to fix those areas like this right here where they're not going to be able to make the jump. I'm going to have to flatten that down and go ahead and get this to block out. But it's fairly simple because all I got to do is just pretty much use the smooth tool. Notice it's going on this landscape down here, so what I'll do is I'll actually select that one and then this one, and now I'm on this one. So So if you have more than one landscape and you want to determine which one you're actually working on, you gotta select it. So it's still gotta come down quite a ways more. Okay, that's smoothing still, so I think what I need to do now is actually lower it. Shift. And that does blend it across. Okay, well, he still has a way in. There's a little bit of a cutoff there. He may or may not actually take this and get stuck, so I don't like it, right? That can't really hold. Let's go ahead and raise this to meet it. I am uncertain what the business is doing. I may need to go boom, boom. I may need to go boom, or like, I hate this. It always acts weird. Okay, that's that one. I want this one. Sculpt, 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 raise. Why isn't it raising? Or is it just... Oh, I know why. It's not raising because I'm nowhere near a vertex. Okay, so because it's very low res. Shit, that's my fault. Alright, so if I hold shift here, I should be able to pop that down. There we go. That's better. And it shouldn't build out of the area anyway. I gotta come way over here to the left to get that to level out. Right there. Okay, so now I gotta try to figure out how to get it to go back down in a good spot. Okay, out here. This is difficult because I'm pushing down. I'm not trying to smooth it. In case you think I'm trying to smooth it, I'm not. I'm pushing it down, but it's really hard to make this kind of transition here. Yeah, I'm going to undo that one because that one, I'm never going to be able to get that back. It's weird because I click the same spot and then it doesn't do it, and then I do it. So, oh, too much. It's tough. Like I said, I only have a few key points around here that I can actually raise and lower. So I have more detail in the blanket, so I'm gonna do that. But this is okay for now. That's actually not a break in the nav mesh. It doesn't have a border like that does. It has a border line on it. You can see it. It's thick green, darker or lighter in some cases. There's not that here. Okay, it's there. It's not there. So that's just a visual tear. You can even see it. Just doesn't know how to draw the connection point, but it is bridged. Okay, so that's the general theory there, and then the ants will come right out. I haven't cleared all that or anything like that, so there we are with the update. But what I want to do on this video is actually something kind of cool, I think. I'm not sure how to do it yet, but what it is, I want to get some damage numbers to appear when I shoot the ants. I don't know if I'll use it in the game, but I do know that I want to see how to do it, because I think it'll be pretty cool. So I'm kind of assuming that it should probably happen off the ant character, but what I may want to do is spawn another actor now. There's 3 general ways that I can think of doing this. Number one, and the easiest, I think, is just a text render actor. Has its own blueprint, fed the value, and told, and then it drives its own thing where it moves upward, fades out, or scales out, or whatever. I think that's the easiest way. The second way would be to use UV trickery on a particle system. The third way is to use UI trickery with screen space to world space display of text. Now, 2 and 3, I have no clue how to do. I know they're possible. I do want to know how to do them, but I don't want to have a 14-hour video. So I'm going to try number 1 first, and we'll see how it feels. Now the thing is if the problem I foresee with the text render actor thing is that if I shoot one that's really far away, that I won't be able to read what that is, you know, because it won't be like a fixed size on my screen. So unless there is actually that ability, so let me make this real quick, and we'll just do it as a test. So it's just pretty much just needs to be an actor, and we'll call this damage number BP. Okay, and we will add a text render. Now what I'm looking for over here is some kind of setting to say keep a world size. Okay, because when you have like a billboard, it has a setting screen size scaled. Right, we don't have that here. And it would be freaking super handy if we did. Don't we agree that it would be better if this wasn't like geometry that was being added by way of a crazy ass array and just looking up geometry and adding it? Because I'm pretty sure it's geometry, right? Unless it's an alpha. No, it's an alpha. It's an alpha, I think. Yeah, I think it's an alpha on different segments. But yeah, like actual text on the screen, this is going to be tough because, you know, from way out here, like, what does that say? So if I shoot an ant that's super far away, I can't tell what that is. So the question is how am I going to do that? Do I want to, because there's one thing I could do. Say the let's say the if the ant's like here, I could say, okay, well, what's my distance, and place it halfway between. But the problem is if it moves up, you know, like it's like, here's the idea is essentially that I want it to go up and fade out. You know, just appear really quick. It's only there for a second and a half at the most, at the absolute most. But it's there, and you see it, you can read how much damage you did, because I do eventually plan to let my characters be upgraded and everything, right? So you want to know how much damage you're doing, you get the damage output. I'm not necessarily going to calculate DPS for you, but, you know, show how much you're hitting for is okay to do. I think a lot of games do it, but interesting. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have something like that, so, but we can try this anyway. We may be able to figure out a scale based on distance, which I guess, I don't know, I mean, the farther they are, the bigger it's got to be, right? So we could divide their distance by 1,000 and add that to the scale or something, maybe. So I guess we'll give it a shot. So let's begin play is not actually where we want to do anything. We want to actually receive a custom event. We want this thing to be completely dormant until told to go, because it's going to get spawned and there's no way we're going to be able to feed it the information before it spawned, and I don't think we'll be able to time begin play with right when it happens, because we have to send it the info. So begin play is too early for anything to happen. It won't have any info at that point. So that's why I'm going to do it here. We're just going to go. I mean, I could even fucking call this like pseudo begin play, because that's what we're doing. But this is like initialize. Okay. And what we need is a variable, and it's going to be value, and it's going to be in I'm thinking it's just going to be an integer. Technically it could be a byte, but I'm thinking it's just going to be an integer. So we'll throw a thing here and call that value as an integer as well. And then actually, yeah, we don't really probably need this, but it might be a good idea to set this in case. But for now, what I'm going to do, I need to give it a material, a default text material right here. So let's go find this guy, and let me come back to, I'm almost thinking in creatures, but the truth is I kind of want to do this maybe a little bit more globally up in here. No, let's do it in the ant for now. So I'm going to drag it here and say copy. Okay, and then when we come in here, we can see we have some stuff. Now we're using an opacity mask. Now the question is if this font's going to support translucency instead. I mean, it was originally plugged in there, and I didn't do that. And it looks okay, I think. When we throw it on a flat sheet, I think it'll be okay. Should be fine. Alright, that's cool. What? Is this like a weird way of doing a power? Apparently so. Just out of curiosity. No. Interesting. Very interesting. Never seen that method of doing it before. Seems to be working. Got it real sharp. Very interesting. But anyways, I need to multiply that by a scalar parameter. Just held S there and clicked, and we'll call this alpha. Let's make sure it defaults to 1, so it has no effect right in the beginning. And I'm trying to think, vertex color. Is that something that's driven by the text color? Okay, so I should not mess with that. Let's go ahead and apply that. That's really all I needed. I just needed this control right there. So it was kind of long-winded, I know. But I had to make sure. I was checking everything. So let's just compile that. I'm just looking for asterisks up here. I want to rename that, by the way. It's going to be damage number font mat. Alright, so we'll use that. Almost looks cleaner, but not really. Yeah, the mask will trim all that, any of that fuzziness. So we may even want to increase the -90 to 90 to -180 to 180 or something to get that to sharpen up, but I'm going to leave it as is. Text, let's make it red. That looks like I didn't mean to pick additive. I don't know why that happened. Okay, now it's coming in black. What did I do wrong? Translucent unlit. So why is the color black? Why is, wait, hang on. What, surface? Oh, it's emissive. Derp. Derp, 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 derp. I forget these things. Sorry. I forget these things. There we go. Now it's red, right? And let's darken it a little bit, I guess. Like that. It is going to be, you know, emissive. So we'll save that. We'll go to the event graph. So essentially what we do is we take this guy and we set the text to, that should just translate for us. Okay. So that'll set the text. We want it here is hidden in game. So we'll set hidden in game like that. That will be unhidden. And now we're going to get a timeline. And we don't really care what it's called. Let's come in here, we'll add a float track. Call that value. Won't give it too many craps. I did say a second and a half. So let's go exactly a second and a half. Click this guy and we'll go 1.5 and 1. And that will be 0. And I'm kind of thinking for now, I'm not really sure what kind of curve I want, but let's just try this for now. Let's see how it feels. I know linear is going to be kind of boring. Okay, so what we're going to do, this thing's going to get spawned at a certain point in space, and I want it to move up from that point in space. So we will trying to think what's the easiest way to do that, because I can do like add local offset, but the problem is this is going to end up going really far and really fast because it's going to be cumulative. Accumulate. It'll cucumberate. So I need a actually no, I think I can just do this. We'll see how that goes. It might be okay. De-story the actor. In 1.5 seconds. Okay, now the other thing we need to do, now this may want to be on begin play, and this is probably why this is kind of why I kept it, is I'm going to create a dynamic material instance here. And I don't think I want to put that in there. It should do it automatically. Let's go ahead and promote that. I don't really want to do too much of this. Here's the thing about this actor. This actor could possibly get spawned a lot based on anybody taking damage and whatnot, like radially and all kinds of other sources. So that's something to keep in consideration when we worry about the complexity of this guy. So too much craziness is gonna hurt performance a little bit, I'd say, but let's try it anyway because I think this is probably necessary. So we'll just call this material instance. And then what we'll do here is we'll set scalar parameter value. That will be opacity, and it will be this is going up from 0 to 1, so what we'll do is a float minus float here. We'll do a simple 1 minus. Okay, so when it's 0, it's 1. And then that needs to be updated pretty much right after this. So as it moves up, it should be fading out. Opacity should be the name of what I called it. Alpha. Nope. Damn it. Might be a capital L. Alright. So that should work. Let me think. So we set that right in the beginning. Correct. Don't really actually need that. We set the text, then we unhide it. Then we throw the animation on its position. We add a local offset of whatever this should be 0 to 1, should just go up. Maybe we may need to multiply it by more, so it may only go up a very small amount. So value may be changed to distance and turned to a float. So well, I don't even know what it's saying. Hang on, compile, get out of here. What is that? Yeah, that's fine. It was a brand new variable I never used. Quit bugging me. Alright, so yeah, we would just multiply this. So we can say that, you know, it moves up like, I don't know, like 3. It's not much more than what it was doing, but we'll try that. Okay, so we'll save, and then what I need to do is I need to have the ants call that when they take damage. Okay, if you didn't die, you play the hit animation, you set the enemy target, but you also it's 0. It's probably not a good spot. I could just fix that here. So I'm hesitant to keep going down this path. Let's just put it 50 above his origin for now. I could maybe do it right off at the point where you hit him. But then I gotta tell him where I hit him, you know. So for now, we'll just do it like this. I don't care about the instigator or anything like that. Let's plug these guys in. This isn't going to work either, too, because the text is going to be like flipped around all kinds of crazy different directions. We actually need to get the text to face us. That's the other shitty thing. So, but let's just try this right now. Let's just see if it even spawns. I gotta go find some of these guys because they're kind of way out here now. They come in real slow in the beginning. I gotta fix that. It's probably boring. But I think some of them can't even figure it out at all. And there's one. It ain't working. I got any errors? No. Spawn actor from class. Is there anything weird I gotta do? Oh, wait, hang on. No? Damage number BP. Oh, I never told it to do the thing, duh. Yeah. I shouldn't have to cast. Should initialize. There we go. Value. That's ugly as Shizer, but we'll just do it like that. That should work. We'll go to some in the sun over here. I don't know, with the red and everything, it might be hard to see. Or is it huge? Maybe it's huge. Maybe I'm thinking it should be all small on his head. Yeah, I saw something. Did you guys see it? I did see it. See? 10. It just happens to be facing a squirrely direction. I don't like it at all. I don't like using this. That was 10. It probably needs a this right here. I think we need that kind of curve. Feels much better. Let's go ahead and do this on begin play. There is one thing that I have here. Well, I can probably do it on initialize actually, because what I have here is I can send the instigator. So here I'm going to say instigator. And I think I want actor. That's probably all I really need to boil it down to. So we'll receive instigator, and then what we'll do is we'll do a fine lookout rotation between the ant and so that means we need another variable. This will be a the ant. That's okay. So we'll throw self into the ant, and we'll throw the instigator in there. It's getting kind of long there. It sucks. I could fix that later if I wanted to, but I doubt. And then so now we can do the same thing here. Oh, there we go. I'm only going to do this one time. When it's spawned, I'll have it face you. If you move away from it, so be it, in my opinion. It's not that big of a deal. But I want it to face you when it spawns at least. And that's not too heavy. Otherwise I gotta do that on tick. And piss on that. No sir, I'm not gonna do it. Alright. What is distance? Yeah, I didn't need to set it. Alright. Come here, Antilones. Let's go for the ones in the dark. I think it's going to be a little bit easier to see right now. Again, I may do the whole size thing too. That might help based on distance, but again, if you rush up to them, it also 50 units seems fairly high for that offset. Where are they? Come on, guys. My flashlight's embarrassing. He's looking on me. Alright. No, see, that was backwards. I didn't work at all. If I find the lookout rotation between the ant to me, I didn't get an error, right? I mean, this guy is facing down the X. I checked it already. So if that faces me, I should read it. No? No, am I incorrect? That was backwards. The other thing is here. Yeah, I don't even know if I want that to actually be more than even like 0. Let's just say 1. And then I actually want the distance that the thing goes to be farther, like 10. Because I don't even know if I didn't even feel like it moved. Let's give that a shot real quick and see how it feels. I mean, it's fairly tunable, but I don't know. Just overall, I'm not really feeling it. I am only doing 10 damage. I should print the damage even if they die. I should print the damage no matter what. I gotta boost my flashlight. Where are you guys? Have any of them breached? I didn't see it at all. There it is. Okay, that rotation thing ain't working. This ain't working. I gotta do it before I unhide it. That's just kind of a must. You know? It seems fair, I think, to say that. You should have to do that before. But this apparently, maybe one of these is coming back blank. So what is this going to give me? Okay, let's just bring a spawner closer. Whoa, crazy angle. Oh, hang on. Yeah, this thing's been giving me this shit for ages and I don't know how to do it. It actually says you're getting none on is valid. I'm like, mind fuck. Isn't that what is valid is supposed to check? Like, how am I getting an error? But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. I don't get it. Okay, I think part of the problem is actually that this is a controller. Damage causer is the bullet, so that doesn't do us any good. So I actually need well, the question is, I'm going to play it, Shift F1, pause, oh, and then eject. So if I select my own character, okay. I don't think the player controller is going along with me. So, in self, here, way down at the bottom, attached to pawn. The controller's location will match the pawn's location. If also will not be updated. Rotation will match the control rotation in either case. Since the controller's location is normally inaccessible, this is intended mainly for purposes of being able to attach an actor that follows the possessed pawn location. But it still has the full aim rotation, since a pawn might only update some components of the rotation. But I'm thinking that maybe now, because what all those goddamn damage numbers were doing were rotating themselves towards the world 0 or wherever the hell I spawned, or whatever it was, right here. I think that was the problem. However, there is the possibility that we could say from here, you know, well, see, this is an actor reference. That's the thing that's kind of throwing me off here, is that this is a controller reference and it let me hook up to actor reference. Am I the only one that finds that this shouldn't have allowed me to hook this up? Actor, controller, actor, controller? Right? Like, what the fuck? I thought that wouldn't let me hook that up. But let's see if that does any good anyway. Ah, wait, hang on. Where's that one spawner I put out here? Alright, so we should get an ant here soon. There you are, buddy. Let's get off my shit. That faced me perfectly. Let's shoot him from the other side. That faced me perfectly. It went up really high. He's dead. So let's actually, let's shift this around a little bit. because I want to see that I hit him for 100, right? Alright, so everything associated with this, Shift to add by way of drag, Control to add by way of click, which is kind of strange. Well, I mean, obviously I could do a sequence. Yeah. SEQ would be so much better because I didn't have to lift my left hand. That is, in fact, how lazy I am. You should be too. Just kidding. Alright, so we should print... Oh, hang on. We should print 100 even when we shoot him in the face now. Yep, 100. Those all heat shots. Anybody else want some? Let's see how it feels from real far away if I can nail one. See if any of them even made it onto the blanket yet. Doo-doo. I don't think I can make it. But I think I set it up so I could do this. Oh, I just missed it. Oh, I saw one. Oh no, those are... Nope, they're... Yep, here they come. True. What was true? Hundred, 10, 10, 10, 10, 100. I was actually purposely kind of aiming high there to try to hit over his head. Okay, I'm not seeing anything from out here. Uh-oh. I saw that. That was 10. That was 100. That was 100. That was 10. That was 150. 150? 15? 15? 15? Why am I doing 15 now? Did I upgrade? Hang on, somehow I magically upgraded, which I don't really know how that happened. Oh, he got the bite off. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check that. He was dead. Whoa. Is he gonna get it off? Hang on, let me try that, because go for the bite. No, he's dead. No, it seemed to stop it. I thought I put a check to make sure, whoa, to make sure he was alive before the damage could go through. Okay, remember, they won't turn around to attack me when they have the cheese. I'm trying to get to like level 3. I should have given myself a hotkey for giving myself XP or something, which I had, obviously, way back in the day, but got rid of it because it was working. Dang it. His leg's blocking it. I know some of you guys got it. Okay, I'm almost level 3. It's weird how I can't get a headshot sometimes. The damage numbers feel okay. I mean, they're kind of hard to see from like a real long distance. But you can see them up close, which might actually be better so it's not so crowded on your screen. I don't have that many spawning. Some of them are getting away. If I have anything to say about it. I gotta protect these because the next ant's gonna go for these. These cheeses are almost lost. I kind of wish there was a way for me to make it so that when you walked on this stuff it kind of squished, you know, like you were really on a blanket. I mean, I know I could do like probably a world offset thing based on a sphere location and then feed it my position and have that work, but I don't know if it's worth doing. I'm very low on ammo. I got to level 3. Okay, hang on, am I doing any more damage? Why did I go up to 15 damage? No, still 15. I don't get it. Because when I hit C, like, I don't have these here, you know? I don't have those active. Did you? Okay, well, I mean, overall it's kind of working okay. I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of my projectile problems here. Like I said, I don't know. You know? If it's not valid, then it's just weird. I thought that that's what this did. You know, I never would expect to get an error of what's coming out here. Hit component, because some of these hit components don't have physical materials. That's the thing. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, if it doesn't have one, then set it to default, 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 right? But if it doesn't have one, it just it gives me an error. So yeah, whatever. Maybe I'll look at that later. And then obviously I got to make sure that everything has a default physical material, right? I gotta get cloth and wood and metal and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit, I guess. The damage number things I think is fairly simple. Like I said, it's not the worst, but I don't really like it. I would actually prefer to do something on the HUD. But that might get really crowdy on your screen, and it's kind of important also that we don't overload the screen. So I was getting true from there, by the way. That was what that was. Was when those were spawning. Okay, so yeah, I think it's good. Real simple. Let's just go over it. So we do feed it the instigator. I had to make sure that this was attached to the player so that its location would actually count, because originally it wasn't. That's why no matter where the ant was, it would look at that original point. And we do a look from the ant, which gets fed, you know, from the ant himself, right? He's the one who feeds all this information. He gets it from the instigator and himself, so he sends self here. He sends the value to put in the field. The truncate thing might be why I'm getting to 15 instead of that, so I may want to actually instead here change value to a float. And just swap that. That way I can get rid of the truncate here, and I can just shoot damage over to it. Okay, that should be fairly simple, I think. That should still work. I don't know if that's going to make it so I don't get that weird went up to 15 somehow, but yeah, I mean, it seems to be okay, so I'll just leave it at that for now. By the way, the spider's not going to do it because he doesn't do that one thing. So I'll have to copy and paste for him. Where I don't even know. Maybe because I don't think I have it set to spawn in view. So I'll run around here real quick. Can I get through there? Yes. Did I set the spiders active? Oh, there's one. So he won't do it, but I can get him to do it fairly quick. This should be, yeah, the spiders have that other problem with my game state, so that's a completely different thing. The manage music thing is consistently giving me errors. I think I'm missing the asset is what it is, one of the assets. I had an issue when I first ported over to 410. All of my assets said they were externally referenced. Everything. It was just horrible. I had error after error after error, but I finally went through and fixed it all. But there were some missing references here and there that I couldn't really figure out. So, anyways, this is Hip signing off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm actually going to, not before I go, but I am going to have him do the same thing here to run that event. So that should work, and it should be easy. I'll just copy and paste it. Essentially this, and just put that like right there. Run a sequence. Like so. I know I called it ant, but I should call it whatever creature. And instigated by. I'm assuming the reference to self is safe, but assumptions are like, I got nothing. I don't have a joke for assumptions. I was gonna say they're like assholes, but that doesn't work for the excuses joke. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that's it. That should do it. They're gonna call it now, and I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna make you guys sat here and wait for the whole thing. Hey guy, there he goes. 0, 0, 0. Oh, well, of course it's 0. I gotta give it the damage. Bares? It's working, and I like it. Now, holy shit! That one I couldn't. Oh, that was a nice. That was a headshot. Came apart. Look at. Well, that's the other thing. I forgot to make the ants come apart. Think play soccer with his butt. It's always fun. Ant butt soccer. See, I didn't see that. That was 15 again. Now I'm up to 15 again. On a headshot. Why is that going up to 15? I don't get it. I'm never telling my... I'm not even doing the upgrade on my damage yet. Because it's supposed to be damage times whatever that formula I make up. Or +1, you know. plus upgrade. So I'm doing 10. If I upgrade, I'm doing 11, right? If I upgrade 50 times, I'm doing 60. You know? It could be that simple, but I'm not doing that yet. It's just damage. The only time I set it... Well, what's base damage? What's base damage and why am I... Oh, that's this. That's what it's hooked to. Okay, so that's weird that it would link me to that. Yeah, so we get it for that. Yeah. I don't understand why it's going up to 15. It's like self-upgrading. Goddamn Skynet's taken over. It's increasing the damage. That's the first step in winning any kind of war, right? Up your fucking damage. And what am I, like, am I some kind of a pawn in this? Because I didn't sign up for that shit. I get a big bonus. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see why it's happening. I'm gonna do... you know what? I have to test this offline. I'm gonna have to start printing out the actual damage. Because there's actually a small chance that there's something fruity happening at this end. Which would be really weird. Because, I mean, really... This does get sent. And here's the weird ass thing. I was getting 150 from the spiders and the ants. Right? So... Oh, maybe I know. Hang on. Maybe I know. Maybe the player is sending some damage. My character might be sending some damage. Yeah, that's him. Might be sending some damage to the bullet when he spawns it. Whoa, get back over here. Spawn projectile. Set damage. Oh. Oh. Does the M16 do... Does the M16 just fucking do more damage? In general? Hang on. Oh my god, I'm gonna be the biggest dickhole in the universe. Oh, this is gonna be epic. Hang on. Okay, is this 10? Or 100? Okay, that's 10. Okay, now is this 15? Fuck me. Pause sign up. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you bearing with that one. That's funny. Yeah, I actually have more damage on the rifle than the gun. And I'm like, dude, I totally forgot that I was even doing that. That's funny.